Hi there, my beautiful Libras. Healing Grasshopper here to do your third week in July reading, the 16th to the 23rd. Let's see what we got here. Hmm, I don't know why I'm so discombobulated right now. Yeah, the devil. Fancy meeting you here, devil. Yeah, devil has been coming out quite a bit. Okay. So, Spirit is saying there's something that you need to pay attention to, something toxic. And your next card is the Six of Cups, which is the nostalgia card. Um, so there is trouble with something that you're glorifying, which is, not too unusual for Libra. Here's the thing about you, Libra. You guys are very, very sweet. You don't like confrontation. You love to see the good in everyone. You just like that friendly type of person that just wants to get along with folks. And there are some people who take your kindness for weakness. And that's what I'm feeling here, that you need to be cautious of people's, motivations. The Five of Cups, we'll see if that's reversed in a moment. So it seems like there's a relationship and it doesn't need to be romantic. Um, okay, so Spirit is saying it is romantic. But still it doesn't need to be. This is a general reading, so I'm sure not every single one of you are dealing with a romantic relationship, but for the most part, this is romantic, but it doesn't matter. This is about a relationship that you've had that has ended, that you were glorifying and kind of missing the red flags. So part of this card is, it's not reversed. Part of this card is you kind of assessing the missing of the red flags, but of course, mourning the relationship itself because, the essence of the Five of Cups is about, you know, mourning over something, but to an unhealthy degree. And unhealthy because, there are these two cups behind you, that there's something better for you that you're not seeing because you're so focused on what you've lost. Um, so it's like innocence lost here. But the devil is saying, you know, that innocence was kind of to a fault. That really produced some pain for you. But that's fine, Libra. That was a karmic situation that you were in. We all go through that. I don't want you to beat yourself up over this, Libra. And I know it was painful, but there are better things for you coming. So let's focus on the future. But please take what you've learned from this situation with you so that it doesn't happen again. Because people like to prey on Libra's kind nature, not reversed. Okay. Three of Pentacles is about talking. It talks about your talents. The Three of Pentacles talks about two patrons who are visiting you know, a master professional here and like commissioning him to do something because they value his work type of thing. But in this reading, this is really just talking about your virtues and your good nature that is very valuable in general to people, and that you are approached because of it. But the people who are approaching you aren't always benevolent patrons. Sometimes they're scam artists and, you know, unscrupulous people, um, which is why it's showing up under the devil. Okay. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is knights are all about an action in some way. Dynamics. And the Knight of Wands is talking about working towards something. And he's facing this Three of Pentacles, which talks about growth of self. That this situation that you were just in is going to help you grow in your path forward. Yeah. Three of Swords, right under the Five of Cups, which is pain, mourning, betrayal. Someone has done you wrong. And then the sentence here is like kind, honest person who is, you know, working towards growth and positive things in their lives. And someone has come along and handed you a temporary setback, but that you will in the end gain from. You're going to be better for it in the end, Libra, I promise. So now we have the moon, the devil, the Three of Pentacles, and the moon. This is, bad habits, red flags missed, a failing to protect oneself is the devil. Uh, Three of Pentacles, your virtues again, and you just being confused altogether, like confounded, like, why did this happen to me? What am I doing wrong? Why me? Why not me? Why didn't they choose me? Type thing. Because there's pathology here. That's why they didn't choose you. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with their shortcomings. So, 10 of Wands is feeling tired and burdened from this. It's like, and especially for Libra, right? You guys will kind of spin your wheels, and I just heard that two roles, the two different personalities, empath versus narcissist, right? Where empaths, and I am very sure that I'm speaking to a bunch of Libra empaths here too, because this very much fits that picture of narcissists preying upon empaths. And for some, yeah, and then, wow, Spirit is really giving me some obscure references here, but for those of you who are familiar with the show True Blood, it was a vampire show that was on HBO a number of years ago. I would say at least 15 years ago. But I think most of you probably know the story. But the main character, we find out, like, I think in the second season, because she comes across these vampires, and all the vampires are like, "What are you? You're so different from the other humans. You smell delicious. They're very attracted to her." More than, the other humans that they come across, and they're just transfixed by her. Um, and then in the second season, you know what? I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm going to stop right there. In the second season, she finds out something about herself that that explains why the vampires are so attracted to her, right? Go watch that show. The first few seasons are really great, and then I don't know. For me, it kind of went downhill. But anyway, um, that is the same dynamic with empaths and narcissists, where narcissists are very attracted to empaths. And it's that same situation. They're like, I smell an empath, delicious, you know? Um, and the thing is that empaths will, narcissists will feed off of the empath and gain their narcissistic supply. And look up narcissistic supply. If you guys aren't familiar with it, you'll really start to realize, especially in this situation, how much you were feeding this person, which is what the Ten of Wands is talking about. It's like you were spinning your wheels trying to make it work. And that effort of giving and giving and giving is what the narcissist fed on, narcissistic supply. And this is what the Ten of Wands is talking about. Like, you're so overwhelmed and overburdened by all of the action that you've taken here. Yeah. Okay. High Priestess. Okay. So you see, High Priestess reversed. Okay. No. The High Priestess is at the end of your reading here. It's like the moral of the story, right? Wow. And now Spirit is handing me another reference. Boy. Um, and it's one of my favorite references too. Of I'm dating myself here. There's a Woody Woodpecker reference. I don't even want to get into the story. You know what? Let's not do that, Spirit, because I don't want to stray away from this here. Um, and if you really want to hear the Woody Woodpecker story, ask me about the Woody Woodpecker story in the comments. I'm not trying to force you to go in the comments. I don't want to, withhold information from you, but at the same time, I don't want to stray away from the subject. I want to stay on topic. The High Priestess here is the moral of the story saying next time, like all of this would never have never happened if you had not been ignoring your intuition, right? You were sugarcoating things and making excuses for this narcissist, or person with narcissistic tendencies, that it brought you to this aggravation that you went through. So that this is saying, this is the lesson that you need to take away from this. It is the solution to all of this is your intuition. And this should be a lesson to you that you should never ignore your intuition. You should never stray from your third eye and your crown chakra. Because if you're, yeah, I think you've absorbed that. I don't think I need to explain it. Think that even before you open this video, you had some idea of this. You know, maybe not exactly the way I'm saying it, but at least you've said to yourself, never again. I'm not going to let anyone fool me like that again. But it's spirits just saying, we know you don't want that to happen again, but this is what you need to do to ensure it doesn't happen again. And that certainly is stop making excuses for uh, people. You know, there's a Maya Angelou saying too. Here's another reference. Um, when people tell you who they are or show you who they are, believe them, right? Don't make excuses for them. And by the way, Libra, I'm an empath, okay? So that advice from Maya Angelou has been up front and center in my life, my whole life. Because what I like to do, and there's a specific story that I'm thinking of that happened maybe about 10 years ago, and this is doesn't stray us from the subject. This is in direct relation to what happened to you, where I was introduced to someone through a friend, um, a friend of a friend type thing. And the instant I met this friend, I was uncomfortable and had physical symptoms, by the way, um, of like kind of chest tightening and muscle tension type feeling. And I heard myself say in my head, like, oh, I don't like this person, right? But right away, I said to myself, Grasshopper, that's not fair. Give them a chance. You only just met them. I'm sure they're very nice. Let's not judge right away. You see how I'm talking myself out of what my intuition is telling me? And then about a week later, I would say I had a few interactions with them throughout the week. But then there was an incident that happened a week later where this person like snapped at me for no reason. What I had said was perfectly innocent, and they totally mistook what I said and kind of attacked me for it. And just like you, I was spinning my wheels trying to explain myself, and they escalated it, and it was just a very ugly situation. I was like, that was very uncalled for. I don't like what just happened, right? And again, I'm making excuses for this person. And so we'll cut this off. Fast forward to 3 months later, or maybe even longer. It was a few months later where I finally was like, enough already. Um, But you see how many months I put myself through? At least 3 months. It was probably more than that, like 6 months of putting up with this person when the very first day, the moment that I walked in the room and laid eyes on this person, I had symptoms and feelings and thoughts about this person that was, trying to lead me away from them. This is what I'm talking about, Libra. Okay? You cannot talk yourself out of those feelings any longer. Okay? So, fine. Let's say we'll rewind to that time with the chest tightening the first day that I met them. I mean, should I have, ran out of the room? Probably. But no, it would have been okay. Okay, I'm going to give them a chance, right? But that first outburst that they had with me should have really been the huge red flag for me to decide then enough the first time. That's what the Six of Pentacles is talking about, Libra. That we cannot sugarcoat and continue to sugarcoat things because then we're going to be like this, overburdened and spinning our wheels and upset and wondering why you and beating yourself up. And this is all the things, and then the gaslighting, and these are all the things that narcissists put ourselves through. Let's see what our outcome card is. The Wheel of Fortune. Reversed? No. Okay. So glad this came out. Wheel of Fortune is the karma card, right? This is talking about, and see how this is showing up right next to this Three of Swords here. Okay. This is telling you, Libra. First of all, the card above it is you looking back to this Three of Swords. But this is saying, let this go, that this person who's wronged you is going to get their karma. So you don't have to be concerned with what they did wrong to you and being resentful of them. Give your resentment up to God. Give it to God, as they say. For me, and you'll hear me talk about this every now and then in my readings, where in situations like this, where I feel that I've been wronged, I, at some point, call out loud Raguel's name. You know, when you were a kid and your siblings or friends or you're fighting with someone and you go, Mom, like you're calling their attention to whatever it is, like, come get this person. I say the same thing with Raguel. Someone cuts me off in my car, and I always use that reference too. Instead of being angry and developing road rage, I call out Raguel's name. Like, Raguel, take care of that. This is what this is talking about. Give it up to God. Call out Raguel. Tell Raguel to take care of it. Trust me, he's on it anyway. God sees everything. That's another motto that you can attach to this card. The God sees everything card. God sees everything that they did, and God sees everything that you did. They will get their karma. You will get yours. This is upright Wheel of Fortune, which is blessings. So focus on your blessings and not on what's been done to you. Mm-hmm. Not reversed. Okay. Three of Swords again. Temperance. Okay. How do we get over, and note here that the Three of Swords is attached to the Devil here and the Six of Cups. This is what produced the heartache, right? The not protecting yourself and the, you know, talking yourself out of red flags, right? The way to get over this pain is by transmutation, transmuting what happened to you and your resentments into blessings. And you'll get help from spirit doing this. Just make sure that you invite your spirit guides in to help you. Reversed. Page of Wands. This is like, get to work. You know what? Switch this wand out with a broom, right? It's almost like the universe is like, here, it's time to clean up now so we can move forward. And what are we cleaning up? All of the resentment, the sadness, all of that crap, the beating ourselves up, everything that the devil produces, and sweep that out of our lives so that we can move forward. Page of Wands is about assessing what we can do to move forward. Is this all? This is not ours. Okay. I need three more, please. The Lovers. Of course. Reversed. It is reversed. Okay. So the Lovers under Temperance. Yeah. The Lovers, um, in this case, for a lot of you, can be romantic, but the Lovers doesn't really talk about romance. It talks about two people who are put in a karmic situation. And it's like there's a choice that needs to be made by both of these people. It's kind of like two people being placed in a situation by the universe and then like, let's see what happens. You know? Reverse is like the outcome was not favorable of this scene, this scenario that the universe has put us in. What are we cleaning up? The scene. It's like cleaning up after the scene. King of Swords. And we need one more. King of Swords is again about cleaning up. King of Swords is about oh, lovely. Nine of Pentacles on top of the Queen of the Queen, the Wheel of Fortune. But we're going to talk about the King of Swords briefly. Reverse, no. Okay. This is again, these three cards, Temperance, King of Swords, and Page of Wands, is all pretty much a cohesive message because they're all pretty much saying the same thing. The transmutation of the negativity into positive. King of Swords is the cutter of BS, right? He's usually the one to uh, detect lies and slice them out of your life or cut out what doesn't serve you. Page of Wands, like I said, being handed a broom, assessing what you can do to remove things out of your life. Well, but really, what can we do to make things better and move forward? Right? Wheel of Fortune with, or the Nine of Pentacles on top of the Wheel of Fortune is talking about good karma. This is luxury and enjoyment, you know, fulfillment and, yeah, just general enjoyment with the Wheel of Fortune. This is, blessing from the universe of abundance. Because you deserve it, Libra. You are a good person. You deserve nothing but the best. You don't deserve this Three of Swords and the Devil in your life. So, and Spirit knows that. So, Spirit's going to help lead you to what you deserve, but also try and, you know, close the door behind you and bolt it so that no one gets in. No one like that gets in anymore. And that's a very good metaphor, by the way. And by the way, that was told to me by a psychic before, um, kind of a famous psychic. Um, I forgot her name, Jackie Barrett. I went to a reading from her once. She's so so intelligent and so talented. But one of the first things she said to me when I met her was, "Wow, I've never met anyone quite like you before. You're like a house with an open door, like wide open." She was like, "We've got to work on shutting and locking that door." Um, so you're very much spirit brought that memory up for me because Libra, the people the person that I'm speaking to right now is that same type of person where you always have that door open. And having that door open isn't always a good thing, right? Nowadays, we wouldn't dream of having our front door open all the time and then going to bed with that door open and just having it open all the time for any Joe Schmo to walk into. So that's the metaphor where this is teaching us to shut that door, lock it, and then the Queen of Cups just came to me. Spirit's very active right now, where we need to protect ourselves and only open that door when we are certain that the person is harmless. There needs to be a vetting and an assessment of people before we're automatically letting them in our lives and giving to them. So, advice cards? No. Okay. So that's the reading, my lovely Libras. You are beautiful, loving people, and you deserve better. And you have better on the way. My one suggestion is to do your best to strengthen your relationship with spirit for two reasons. Number one, they're going to help keep you out of trouble. Number two, they'll help lead you to your blessings so you get there faster. Your blessings will always be there for you, but isn't it always nice to get there as fast as possible on your path, right? And that's what spirit is there for. I'm sorry, Libra. You didn't deserve what happened to you. Now let's move forward. I will, oh, before I close it, um, you might want to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. If you don't know what that is, you can calculate it for free online. Just Google it and you will be able to calculate what you are, And then when you find out what those sun, moon, and rising signs are, you can go watch those grasshopper videos as well. And there will be messages for you there. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, it is a very quick and, you know, free gesture, something that doesn't cost you anything. That means the world to me. So I thank you in advance. Don't forget to hit the notification bell too. Okay? I love you guys. I will speak to you soon. Love, light, and many blessings.